Reporting for the Rural Radio Network, I'm Steve White. As news spread of Tyson's decision to close its Lexington beef plant, the rumor mill kicked into high gear, some blaming tariffs, immigration, or corporate greed. There may be some truth, but economists say the real story has to do with basic supply and demand. As we visit with livestock economist Elliott Dennis of the University of Nebraska.
And I think a lot of people were kind of questioning if and when a plant would shut down. There's been a lot of talk about plants at least running slower shifts and even closing for days, a day at a time for a week. But I was surprised, particularly this plant in general, of the plant closure.
To follow up on that, where this plant is located geographically, there are so many cattle feeders right around there. It just seems like if you kind of were to draw on a map where kind of the epicenter of American beef production is, it would be pretty close to right around here in some respects, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it really is in the heart of cattle country. And you think about a lot of the major feedlots that feed into that Lexington plant. These are big players, and that have a kind of a long-standing relationship with Tyson. Obviously, it will hurt the community quite a bit. When you think about just Tyson in general, where their plants are located, I mean, they do have another plant in Nebraska already operating, a little bit different than other major packers. So, and there are some things about have been talking about we have plant efficiency or company efficiency, and where that Tyson Lexington plant was really kind of lining up when we think about all the plants in the United States. What is the cost essentially, the unit cost to produce a pound of beef out of that plant? And I think Tyson thought that was the plant that was the highest cost, and so the ability to kind of close that plant.
Would you think that they're looking at a bunch of different factors just in terms of efficiency of a plant? I mean, they would have some of those kind of numbers at their fingertips, would you think?
Yeah, when we think about kind of competition, I mean, these things are generally spatially competition. We think about spatial competition. We also think about multi-plant coordination. So even though we're buying out of a certain area, can we distribute cattle to different plants? So just give me an idea, like Tyson has 6 major beef plants, and on average, they're harvesting about 4,600 head per day per plant. We have 2 located here in Nebraska, one southwest Kansas, one in kind of the northern part of Texas. And so, I mean, and then you compare that to like JBS, right? They have 3 major plants in the Midwest, but then they have kind of smaller plants, think of Hiram, Utah, and then down in Texas. And so kind of, where these plants are located matters, because they can shift production around. And so that was surprising. So when I thought about, okay, they still have a plant in Nebraska, so maybe it's just about some cost efficiencies there.
Do you know what kinds of things a company like this might look at in terms of efficiency?
Yeah, so when you think about kind of plant profitability, throughput and how fast we can actually move product through definitely matters. And a lot of that, like you said, has to do with plant layout. When we think about, the sustainable beef plant that came online in North Platte,
right,
they're able to essentially start from scratch, use the greatest and latest, plant designs.
Again, we've been visiting with Elliott Dennis, livestock economist from the University of Nebraska, on some of the challenges in the packing sector and why Tyson may have chosen to close its Lexington beef plant. I'm Steve White.